I had started researching holistic dentistry probably about a year ago. I was pregnant with our third child, and during my pregnancy was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. And we had been seeing a dentist, and she hadn't been very forthcoming about certain things. And with my second pregnancy, I had noticed that my teeth had changed a lot. So I started doing some research online to figure out how I could improve my oral health, and came across holistic dentistry, and then decided that I wanted to find a dentist that practiced from a holistic dentist perspective, that we weren't just immediately going to do a root canal or fill a cavity, that there were actually things I could do to improve my oral health. I also was really interested in the connection between your oral health and the gut microbiome. So it was really important to find a practice that understood that and focused on recommendations outside of the appointments also. And so I actually found the office through a holistic dentistry listserv that was put together by a dentist who's a pretty well-known dentist on social media. So when I came in, I knew that my gums had to be fairly bad because they were bothering me a lot when I was brushing, and I was bleeding a lot. So I did the program here where we really focused on getting rid of the bacteria in my mouth and doing some specialized cleanings using different types of red light therapy, alkaline water, and some other techniques just to help my gums heal. And I am proud to say that when I brush my teeth, my gums do not bleed currently. And then I did have 3 small cavities that they ended up filling, but then also they discovered I had only ever had 1 cavity before, and unfortunately it was a mercury filling. So now I'm also going to get that taken out, and that was really important to me because mercury is not good for the body. And with my kids and with my own health, I'm really trying to take more of a holistic approach and cleanse my body of anything that could be impacting it. And so that's where we're at now. When I first came in, I was a little bit nervous because we hadn't had a great last experience, but everyone's been really kind and friendly here. And what I really liked was when I first came in, I've seen a couple of different dentists in the practice, and each have their own specialty, which I really like. But when I first came in, we talked a lot about my concerns around my gums, and it was pretty cool because they actually took a sample of my mouth and showed it to me through the microscope, and I could see the bacteria. And then the doctor went through what's good bacteria, what's bad bacteria, and how do we improve that overall without doing anything fancy. It was supplements that I could take, and I've continued to use those practices at home. And then the other thing that's been really great is I was diagnosed with thyroid cancer during a pregnancy last year and had a surgery scheduled. And so the office worked with me to get all of the different things on my treatment plan, as many as we could, done before my surgery. So I was coming in essentially every 1 to 2 weeks. They were fitting me in. They were making sure it worked around my schedule with kids and slowly returning to work. And the doctors have also been great in alleviating some of my concerns that I had around how the surgery would impact my teeth and how treatment might impact my teeth later on, and have been really working with me to problem solve. And that's what I really wanted, was someone who looked at me holistically as a whole person and figured out, okay, if I'm experiencing these other conditions, how is that going to impact my teeth and my gums? And then in turn, how will that impact my body? So what can we do long term to make this a better outcome for me than just going and getting a cleaning once or twice a year at another dentist? For me, I think a holistic route may seem scary or concerning because of the terms, but the providers here are still doing the same types of dentistry you would look for. However, they're really looking at the root cause. So if you want long-term healing and long-term care, and you want to not just get a cleaning or a filling, but you want to really figure out, how is my oral health impacting the rest of my body, and how do I create this a much safer, cleaner space for myself to thrive later on, then to me, holistic dentistry is really important, because you're still getting your cleanings. If you have a cavity, they will still take care of it, but we're also looking at some of the root causes. And with so much research on the connection between the mouth and then the gut and our body, I think it's really important for all of us to start considering that.